Adult Solutions. Add-on Desires.
Hello viewers, welcome to Adult Solutions Daily Current Affairs. I am Lokesh Penugonda. This session is designed mainly for aspirants preparing for banking, groups and such other examinations. We cover news articles from both the Hindu and the Indian Express. Make a use of it. First, we have an article where it is stated that the Iranian ship is attacked in the Red Sea by Israeli forces. First, we will see where Red Sea is. Here in this image you can see the Red Sea, where Yemen and Saudi Arabia are bordering the Red Sea, and it leads to the Egypt and the Suez Canal. And in the image you can also see Iran. So what is the capital of Iran? It is Tehran. What was the main reason or the motive behind the Israeli forces attacking the Iranian ships now? This is seen as a payback because earlier the Iranian ships have attacked some Israeli ships. So the Israeli forces have attacked back the Iranian related ships. As we are talking about the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, we need to understand some topics related straits. So there is a strait called as Bab al-Mandab Strait, and here you can see a strait. This is Strait of Hormuz. So what is a strait? Strait is a narrow passageway of water, connecting to larger water bodies. So we'll see what is a narrow water connectivity here. In this image you can see that there is narrow passageway here in this position which is connecting the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman, and also in this image you can see there is a small water passage which is connecting the Red Sea with the Arabian Sea. So these two are small waterways connecting larger water bodies. So these are called straits, and this strait which is near Iran is called as Strait of Hormuz, and this strait which is connecting the Red Sea and the Arabian Sea is called as Strait of Bab al-Mandab. Next, we have an article where the Prime Minister of India, which is Mr. Narendra Modi, has launched some vessels for the Seychelles. So where is the country of Seychelles? Seychelles is a country in the Indian Ocean region, and you can see that Seychelles is near the countries Comoros, Madagascar and Mauritius. So you can expect multiple questions from these topics. So what kind of questions can be expected from this? So a question can be asked which can ask north to south countries in this region. So they will give you that, they would give you Seychelles, Madagascar, Sri Lanka or some other countries, and they will ask you to arrange these countries from either north to south or from south to north. So this is one type of question you can be expected from. Also you can be asked about the capital of Seychelles. So what is the capital of Seychelles? It is Victoria. Next, what is the ship which is gifted by India to the Seychelles? The ship's name is PS Zoroaster. So this is the name of the fast petrol vessel which is gifted by the India to the Seychelles government. Next, we have an article talking about the Jammu and Kashmir, about the Darbar Mu or the Darbar tradition. So what is the Darbar Mu? In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, there exists two capitals. One is the summer capital, one is the winter capital. So why is there a need for two capitals? Because in the winters the Srinagar region is extremely cold and it will be difficult for the government to work from there. So there is a need for two capitals in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and this was being followed from long back, that is from nearly 149-150 years. This tradition has been followed by the local rulers. So who started this tradition? This was started by the local ruler called as Ranbir Singh, and it was started in the year 1872. So Mr. Ranbir Singh, who was the local king of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, has started this Darbar move where he would move the capital from Srinagar to Jammu. So the capital will be in the Srinagar in the summer months, which is mainly between May to October. So 6 months capital, which 6 months in the Srinagar during the summer season, 6 months in the Jammu in the winter season, from November to April. So now that the April has come, the government of Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory has started to move some documents from the Jammu to the Srinagar because summer is coming. So what are the various concerns raised against this move? First is the problem or the huge expenditure that will be incurred, because all the files from secretariat and other headquarters of one region has to move from Srinagar to Jammu and Jammu to Srinagar, vice versa. So there is huge cost on travelling of employees, and also you need to move files of these offices also. So employees have to move and also the files have to move. So who is Mr. Ranbir Singh? Ranbir Singh is the son of Gulab Singh. Who is Mr. Gulab Singh? Gulab Singh is the founder of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. These rulers are called as Dogra rulers. So Gulab Singh started the Jammu and Kashmir as a state, and his son Ranbir Singh started the Darbar tradition. Next we have an article talking about the PM CARES. So what does PM CARES stands for? C stands for citizenship, citizens, assistance and relief in emergency situations. Emergency situation. So PM CARES stands for Prime Minister's Citizen Assistance Relief in Emergency Situations Fund. So why was this fund established? This is mainly to help people assist in COVID pandemic. So this fund was set up in the year 2020 after the COVID pandemic has struck all the countries, to help people to overcome the COVID pandemic. And also you should note that this is not a public authority or a public body. So what is the impact of a body which is not coming under the public authority? As it is not a public authority or a public body, it would not come under the Right to Information Act. So let's say a person has donated money to the PM CARES fund, and if someone wants to know how much funds are donated to this PM CARES fund and who donated how much, this information cannot be requested through the RTI Act of 2005. Also you should note that the PM CARES fund is chaired by the Prime Minister, and also other members of the PM CARES fund include the Home Minister, the Finance Minister and the Defence Minister. So these are various members of this PM CARES fund. This is not coming under Right to Information Act. Next, we have an article where the Chief of Defence Staff, which is Mr. General Bipin Rawat, stating that China is capable of launching cyber attacks. We'll see about the Chief of Defence Staff in this session. So, Chief of Defence Staff was first recommended by the Kargil Review Committee. So, who recommended setting up of the post of Chief of Defence Staff? It was first recommended by the Kargil Review Committee. So, what was the need of setting up or establishing a Chief of Defence Staff? This is mainly to increase the coordination between the three branches, three organs of the military. So, we have three branches of military, which is Air Force, which is Navy, and which is Army. So, to increase the coordination between three organizations of the military, this Chief of Defence Staff position has been recommended by the Kargil Review Committee. It was set up in the year 2020 and Mr. Bipin Rawat became the first ever Chief of Defence Staff. Also, you should note that the tenure of Chief of Defence Staff is 3 years or 65 years. So, if a person has completed 3 years service, or if a person who is appointed for this position has become 65 years, then he has to retire. So, whichever comes first, that should be taken for retirement. Also, you should note that he is the head of the newly created Department of Military Affairs. Department of Military Affairs. So, he will head this department and he will be responsible for increasing the logistical coordination between various forces of the military. Next, we have an article talking about India opposing net zero. First, we will see what is the background for this article. United States of America's Special Climate Change Envoy or Special Climate Envoy, Mr. John Kerry, has visited India and he has asked India to pledge for net zero goal by 2050, and India has opposed to this goal. So, what is net zero emissions? Net zero emissions states that whatever emissions which are coming from a country, these all emissions will be absorbed by the country's green resources. So, let us say India is producing 5 million ton emissions every year, and India has a forest capacity which is able to absorb 5 or more than 5 million tons every year, then it will be called as net zero emissions, because though we are emitting some emissions every year, we are also absorbing the same amount or more than the emissions we are producing. So, this is called as net zero. So, net zero is not zero emissions, rather it is absorbing whatever emissions the country has produced in that particular year. Next, we have an article where PLI scheme for white goods and solar modules have been cleared for the cabinet, by the cabinet. So, what is PLI? PLI stands for Production Linked incentive to promote local manufacturing in the country. The government has brought in this PLI scheme where it will incentivizes various companies for manufacturing more than what it did last year. So under this production linked scheme, the government has added two more schemes, two more sectors. First is the white goods sector, next is the solar module production. So what is white goods? White goods stands for large electronic consumer goods. Consumer goods which are used in kitchens mainly. So what are the large electronic consumer goods? These are refrigerators, dishwashing machines, dishes, washing machines and clothes washing machines, and also air conditioners. So why are large electronic consumer goods which are refrigerators, washing machines, air conditioners being called as white goods? The reason is traditionally all these goods which we've talked about used to come in only white color. So all these electronic goods used to become only in one color, that is white. So this was earlier called as white goods, but now these goods are available in many colors. So even though these goods are available in many colors, this has been, as it is traditionally called white goods, this is being continued. So white goods are all these machines which are generally large electronic equipment used by household machinery. So are there any other goods similar to white goods? The answer is yes. We have something called as brown goods. White goods are large electronic equipment, whereas brown goods are lighter electronic household durables. So what are lighter electronic household durables? They are television sets, radio sets, computers, laptops. So that this is the difference between the white goods and the brown goods. Next we have an article where there is an apprehension that China might be attacking the Taiwan to reclaim the Taiwan. In this image you can see the PRC or the People's Republic of China, and you can see ROC, which is Republic of China. Republic of China is widely known as Taiwan. Earlier there was only one country called the China, where Taiwan was also part of China, but due to civil war, people from China has migrated to Taiwan and they proclaimed independence from the China. The mainland China follows communist rule, whereas the Taiwan follows democracy. Though the Taiwan claims itself as an independent and sovereign country, China does not accept this. China considers the Taiwan as a province of itself, and it aims to bring Taiwan under the Chinese umbrella or the Chinese sovereignty. So China follows something called as One China policy. So what is One China policy? It says that if a country recognizes China, then it should not recognize Taiwan. If a country recognizes Taiwan, then it cannot recognize China. That is, let's say United States of America has recognized Taiwan as a country, then China will remove all the diplomatic relations with the United States, and also United States will not be given the chance to have diplomatic relation with China. So it says that there is only one China where Taiwan is also a part of China. So due to the military and economic heft of the PRC or the mainland China, very few countries recognize Taiwan as a country, because as these countries are recognizing Taiwan as an independent and a sovereign country, they cannot maintain diplomatic relations with China. So for this reason alone, India also does not have official diplomatic relations with Taiwan. There are very few countries, less than 20 countries in the world, which recognize Taiwan as an independent country. One of them is the country of Paraguay. So where is Paraguay? Paraguay lies in the South American continent. It lies in the South American continent, and it is a landlocked country, as you can see here, which is being bordered by Bolivia, Brazil, Uruguay and Argentina. So it is a landlocked country in the South American continent. Next, what is the capital of Paraguay? It is Asunción. Asunción. Asunción is the capital of Paraguay. So with this, we come to the end of this session. Inform about this ADOTS initiative to your other aspirant friends and show your support by subscribing and liking our videos. Thank you.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desires.